All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another one. Now, this one right here, before we get into like the meat and potatoes, the actual levels of Brugly or the main wiki, we're really just gonna like dive deep into like a little bit more of like just the little stuff, you know what I mean? Like the creatures, certain rooms, certain things. Just dip our toe in it a little bit before we get into like the full 50-minute, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna do like a 4 or 5 part on that one, and then we're gonna knock that out. But right here, I know a lot of people have been wondering what these creatures are, and I've been wondering too. What are these creatures exactly? So this is not exactly like each individual creature breakdown, because those are probably shorter, but this one right here is the top 5 scariest backroom creatures, which probably the creature we'll see more often, if not. And so yeah, we're just going to get into the top 5 scariest creatures according to Brugly, so let's get into it.
Today, I'm going to be going over what I think are the top 5 scariest backrooms creatures. Actually, you know what? 5 isn't enough. Let's do 7. So these are the 7 scariest backrooms creatures in existence. Some of these I've covered in my Backrooms Creatures Explained series, but I haven't covered number 1.
Let me know if you guys want me to dive deeper into like the actual creatures. Like you want me to go into individual creatures fully explained. We could do that as well.
That's for sure, and it's terrifying. So yeah, let's get into it. At number 7, we have the Skin Stealers. Yes, this is pretty low on the list for how creepy they are, but it's still terrifying nonetheless. Skin Stealers, aka Entity 10s, are huge humanoid creatures that wear the skins of their victims as a disguise. They feed on humans when they're in their hungry state, and they can even mimic the sound of humans speaking to lure you closer. Additionally, they have clear...
I'm gonna lie, if I'm in the back rooms and I hear anybody I know, I'm not trusting you, bro. That's just how superstitious I am, bro. There's no reason to trust you.
Blood, so this is the only way you can tell if they're human or not. But if you're not sure, you can always just cut whatever you see. If it bleeds clear, it's a Skin Stealer, but if it bleeds red, it's a human. If it's clear, you're done for if you're that close. So you got a big tall creature with white eyes and human skins wrapped around itself. Nice. That specifically only eats humans and kills you by ripping you in half with their bare hands. That's terrible.
Oh, the ripping.
Terrifying. Also, they're mainly located on the first 4 levels, so you might see one right off the bat if you no-clip into the backrooms. Nice. Next up at the 6th spot, we have Stranglers. Of course we do. These things live only on level 58.1, and they hunt during the level's blackouts, which is when the lights go off, obviously. They're 8 feet tall bipedal beasts that are really furry, and they have a huge beak thing on the front of their face, and they use it to crush bones and eat flesh. Okay. Their hands are these snake-like appendages that they can constrict around their prey's necks at will in order to strangle them. That's where they get the name from. Their feet kinda look like hooves from real life, but instead of making that click-click sound like normal hooves do, Stranglers' feet are spongy and make little to no noise. So when a blackout starts on level 58.1, these things creep out of the shadows and slowly and quietly walk through the dark rooms to find anything to eat. Also, they literally eat each other sometimes, so add cannibalism to the list of creepy things about them. Wow. So yeah, there's no doubt in my mind why these things are on the list. In 5th place is the Dentist Entity. These things are humanoids that look like melted humans with a bunch of excess flesh on them. They have teeth and jaws and gum tissue all over their bodies as well. When they walk, they leave a slimy trail behind, and they smell like a decomposing corpse. Yeah, gee, I wonder why. They're very hostile, and if they even see you, they'll start to pursue and walk towards you. The only good thing is that they're pretty slow at the start, but that kind of makes them scarier in a way, I'm not gonna lie. And they use this slowness as a deception sometimes, because when they're about to pounce on you, they get this huge burst of energy so they can run at you really fast, and it catches you off guard.
I ain't gonna lie, bro, that would catch my neck. If I see a creature and I'm running, I'm like, oh, that's going slow. Then they just start, you know what I'm saying, hustling, but you never know, bro. As much distance as you can, as fast as you can.
Do catch you, they'll pin you down and take your teeth and gums away while you're still alive. Ew. Also, the gum tissue on their bodies is infected and is growing mold. I just thought you should all know that. So this thing's a flesh blob that wobbles around and pounces on you and rips out your teeth and gums before eating you. Fun, fun, fun. 4th is one that actually might surprise you, and it's Wretches. Now hear me out before you comment.
I want to know. I actually don't know anything about Wretches. If he doesn't fully explain it here, we're definitely going to watch a Wretches video, because those things are too ugly for me not to know what they are.
Wretches aren't that scary. I put these on here because this is something that can happen to anyone if they're not careful in the backrooms. Like, some of the entities on this list are only on certain levels, so you can just avoid them if you want to. But these things live on almost every level, and it's impossible to avoid them. If you don't know, Wretches are like zombie creatures that were once humans. The humans transform into the Wretch through something called the Wretched cycle, which is when a human doesn't get enough food, water, or sleep. And this happens faster if they're isolated. It's almost impossible to completely stop the wretched cycle, which makes it even creepier, so it's like almost a death sentence. These red zombies have inhuman strength and speed, and sometimes even hunt in packs and wield weapons. So these are pretty much visual representations of what the backrooms can make you feel like in your head. And that, along with the reasons I said earlier, is why Wretches take the number 4 spot. Plus they just look terrifying, people. Come on, get with the program. Third on my list is bone thieves. Bone thieves are huge, fat, yellow blobs that have impenetrable skin. Their eyes are located on the inside of their mouth, not their heads, and they leak blue liquid from holes in their head. If that doesn't sound creepy enough, they can also debone something just by looking at it. I mean, literally, rip their bones out of their body without even moving them. They just disappear. Nice. Bone thieves can also mimic any noise of anything perfectly because of their extremely advanced larynx. Once the bone thief literally just teleports your bones out of your body, you'll fall completely limp, and then it will extend its neck and slurp you into its mouth, and then swallow you whole. Nice.
You can't avoid that. What do you mean? You cannot avoid that. But so this is just a death sentence.
Because of how dangerous and creepy it is. I mean, this thing can literally teleport your bones away without even touching you. Like, that's terrifying. The only good part is that they're mostly stationary and can't chase you. But still, like, imagine turning a corner and then just going limp. Nice. In the second slot, I put memory worms. So memory worms are these huge lamprey worm looking things that have these gigantic teeth that spiral down the entire length of their body. They have literal metaphysical abilities that they use to hunt and kill prey. When the memory worm is hunting something, it subdues that thing by using illusions, which are based off of that person's memories. So they can literally make a person see whatever they want and lull them into a false sense of security. Like a memory worm could make you think that you were at your house on Christmas morning, and you would see everything just like how you remember. Nice. The only way to stop an illusion once it starts is with almond water and a ton of mental willpower. Memory worms are pretty slow, but that literally doesn't matter when you aren't moving, because in your head you're just laying on a beach because they're making you think of your beach memories. Like, that's crazy. They eat their prey whole, and once they digest you, they give birth to your remains, and then they form into wormlings or memory facelings. That's disgusting. A giant worm, huge teeth, can control your mind and your memories. That's second place material right there. I'm sure you're asking yourself, Brugly, how can it get worse? Oh, it can. And finally, number 1 is a creature that I have not covered on my channel before, which is surprising, and it's called a phobic centipede, or entity 134. Their best physical description is that they look like a shadowy outline of a centipede, a giant one at that too. They're huge. They live in the darkest spots on seemingly random levels, and they can communicate intelligently with anyone, in any language. Every attempted picture of the creature has extreme glitching and distortion on it, which makes it pretty impossible to get a good look at it. These creatures are very, very hostile, and they wait for wanderers to pass near them, and when someone does, they project a picture of a loved one from that person's life onto their own body, kinda like a TV projection. They do this to try to lure the wanderer into the shadows, and it works out all the time, because how surprised would you be if you saw a picture of someone you loved and you were stuck in the backrooms? I mean, you'd probably walk towards it. When a person does walk into the shadows, the centipede will use human arms. It has 2 human arms, and it will use that to pull you further in, and this is the point where the psychological torment will start. This thing will literally induce sleep paralysis and make you go through your worst nightmare. It tells you things like you're never going to escape, and it even makes you see your biggest fears. And the whole time it's doing this, it's quietly laughing and giggling. Nice. Bro, if a giant centipede grabs me, makes me not be able to move, and then puts a gigantic spider in my dream, I'm just giving up at that point. But even after this stupid creature is not done yet. It sometimes will let you get up and run away just to chase you, like some sick game. Yeah, okay. The centipede has this black fog that floats around it too, and it has knife-like fingers and claws, so it can just lacerate you if it wants to. It's also got around 12,000 small centipede legs and 2 huge human arms. The head on the centipede can either be a normal centipede head, or it can be a female's head. And the head is always smiling, which is weird. It also has pale white eyes. But the creature can actually change its own head to look like anyone from your life too, which makes it even more real.
Yo, it's like... Bro, it's literally like that one thing. I've seen that before. A female giant centipede from what? Where's that from? It's like a cartoon or something. Let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about, bro. I've seen something exactly like that. I just can't remember what it is. I would show y'all, but I can't remember for the love of me what I'm talking about. A centipede with a female head, bro. I've seen that in the show. Is it over the gate? Over the guardian wall? I don't know what it was. It was something.
Nice. They could literally just change their head into the head of your mom, and you would walk towards them. I mean, why wouldn't you? These things are sadistic for no reason. Also, I want to point out the first encounter with one was when Meg workers saw one crawl out of a grave saying, quote, "Come here, sweetheart, grandma misses you." Then the workers saw a wanderer run towards the creature because they thought it was their grandma, and then it proceeded to eat that person whole. Nice. And that wraps up the list, and now I'm going to go into some honorable mentions before you start furiously typing away at the ones that I missed. Honorable mentions go to skin givers, denizens, redkins, and partygoers. So yeah, if you were about to type, "You forgot skin givers," or any of the ones I just said, yeah, get destroyed. Well, that wraps up the top 7 scariest back...
Dang, I kind of want to know what those are. Skin givers, all that. Yeah, so we definitely got to check out more entities in here, as well as levels. There's so much. I love that this lore is super expansive, kind of like SCPs. Yeah, no, that's my thing. I love that right there. Let me know what you guys think, what y'all want me to check out next with the Backrooms, as well as SCPs too. Don't forget, we still doing SCPs, but today I just figured I'd do a double Backrooms day. But let me know, because I really want to know. This is ridiculous, bro. This is ridiculous. These monsters and creatures are abominable at most. But shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody who's supporting. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what else you guys want. And I will see y'all in the next video, bro. Peace out.